Hey folks, I'm Jack Fossett and welcome to this special guitar rigs video showing off one of my favorite really lovely clean tones that you can get out of the Fender Blues Jr. Now for this video I'm using this guitar. This is one of my very favorite guitars. I don't have a favorite guitar, but if I had a favorite, this one would definitely be in the running. This is a very special guitar to me. I named the guitar Catherine. This is a gift that my wife gave me when we were engaged, and she got it for me because she said she thought it was unfair that the man should have to get the woman a ring, but the woman doesn't, get the man anything. And so that was a good indication to me that I had found a keeper, not just because I love new gear and everything, but because it also told me that she respects what I do, and that means you know, a great deal. So this guitar has always been very, very special to me. Now, the reason that I bring that up, and the reason that I do this, the song that I just played, which many of you have heard me play in probably a lot of demos. It's a song that I come back to and play a lot. It's a song called Catherine. It's one that I wrote for her, and it's an instrumental. I recorded it and released it on a CD last year called Shoreline. And the original demo of Catherine that I ever recorded, around a decade ago, a long, long time ago, was on this guitar and a Tweed Fender Blues Jr. And I always got, I shared the demo because it was all that I had of the song, and I wanted to put it out for people, you know, just to listen to and everything, even though I knew it wasn't, you know, really a finalized recording. But I really wanted to share the song with people, and people always mentioned how nice the guitar tone was and everything. And part of it came from the Blues Jr. and this guitar. Now, it wasn't this same Blues Jr. I wound up needing to sell that amp some years ago, but then, you know, recently acquired this one. This guitar is different than it was. This is an American standard Stratocaster from 2008, and this has had a lot of modifications, including a wiring harness, a 50 style wiring harness, which I built myself. This has a 50 style pickguard. These are Lust for Tone Monterey pickups, which are inspired by Jimi Hendrix pickup, but, you know, not the brasher 70s Woodstock sound like his, but more like the earlier 60s Strats, pre-CBS Strats that Hendrix used, particularly the one that he used at Monterey. All in all, these pickups were just an absolute perfect fit for this guitar. It's also important that they sound really good. And I went with, I did vintage style tuners and string tree and everything, kind of making it more like a 50s Strat. That's actually similar to one that Hendrix used. He had a cool maple board red Strat that was, I think, a 65. I'd have to double check that. But anyway, this guitar and that amp were what recorded the original Catherine. And I'll put a link below to where you can hear the actual track, the release track on the CD. I'll put a link below to that. And after all my yapping, I'm going to share with you the original recording that was this guitar and the Fender Blues Jr. in it. And I thought that the tone of the guitar and the amp together, particularly because most of the song, well, actually a lot of the song I played on the neck pickup, but when I did the recording, most of the song really harped on this neck and middle setting, which I think is one of the prettiest sounds an electric guitar can make. Stratocaster primarily, but, you know, other guitars too that have 3 pickups, when you get that out of phase neck and middle, there's just such a beautiful tone when you play it clean. It has this sort of sag to it, not quite that same edgy attack, and it just has a depth to it and really, really, you know, beautiful, slightly glassiness. It's just one of my favorite tones. I thought it suited the song. And also, for those of you who just in general want to know how to get great tone out of a Blues Jr., I actually played part of this song on a Les Paul in my full tone tips video on the Fender Blues Jr. Feel free to check that out. In that video, I talk about how to get a lot of different tones, from rock tones to blues tones to, you know, really nice clean tones and everything. I will talk briefly about what I did for the EQ on this. The bass is all the way up. I really like this amp because you can crank the bass to make it sound bigger without it getting muddy. The mids and the treble are pushed back a bit, reverb slightly up. In order to counteract the mids and the treble being cut back, I also have the fat switch on. And I don't have the volume, I have the master volume up, not up, but, you know, more than just bedroom level. And the volume in that case, which acts like a gain knob, I have that set back enough so that even if I really dig in, it's not really going to break up. You know, you get that kind of warm tube, very slight tube clipping, but, you know, for the most part, it kind of gives it a slight amount of snap to it, but without really getting into any kind of overdriven or distorted territory. I'm Jack Fossett. Thanks for tuning into this special video of guitar rigs, and stay tuned to hear the original recording of Catherine that was on a Fender Tweed Blues Jr. and this guitar. We'll see you next time.